And the starting lineups have concluded. So just sit right back and relax. We'll be back in just a moment.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Glad you could join us. Tonight, the Memphis Grizzlies facing off against the Milwaukee Bucks. Well, for Milwaukee, this is their first time facing off this season. Last year, they split the season series at a game apiece. And for Milwaukee, Giannis Antetokounmpo is the superstar this franchise has needed since, I don't know, maybe 1975. Guys, how do they keep him in Milwaukee?
Super simple, Ernie. Win. That's it. What do you think?
He's got a better supporting cast now, but someone has to step up and play like a second true superstar in the playoffs.
That wraps it up from here. You know the Freak wants to stay on the mean streets
of Milwaukee.
Well, the weekend has officially begun, and we welcome you to this 2K Sports presentation of NBA basketball. And tonight, it'll be the Memphis Grizzlies going up against the Milwaukee Bucks. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter is David Aldridge. A moment now to check out who's leading in the All-Star voting.
And a lot of fans and players interested to see how this thing all turns out.
Well, you look at Bledsoe. He's there in the top 10 in the Eastern Conference voting. The fans have really gotten behind him.
And that's the way it should be. Kevin, you could make a case that he should be a starter, but there's just so many great players in the East. Just being in the top 10 shows how much respect the fans have for him.
A great All-Star weekend it'll be. We'll keep you updated as we get closer. And nothing tips off a broadcast like getting the lowdown from the sidelines. And we've got David Aldridge there for that. David, good evening.
Well, almost all of the Greek Freak's points come in the paint. Giannis said, I can already do a lot of damage, basically without a jump shot. Just driving, making plays, and free throws. When that jump shot comes, it's going to be a problem for a lot of players in this league. Kevin?
You're right, D.A. It'll be scary. Thanks. Clark, here we are mid-season, and certain teams seem to really change gear and ratchet up the intensity.
Yeah, I agree with you. And some of that is familiarity, understanding who you are and what it takes for you to win, and being healthy is a big part of that. I think teams all over the league go through stretches where they're in a nice groove and rhythm, and there are a lot of variables that play into that.
Things settle down, don't they? Rotations, routines, like you said, all those things important.
Yeah, exactly. Well said.
Here are the starters for Milwaukee. Middleton and Giannis are the forward tandem. The backcourt comprised of Bledsoe and Matthews. And it's Lopez in at the center position. And for Memphis, Morant and Allen at the guard spots. Jackson is out there with Jay Crowder. And it's Valanciunas in at the center, filling out the middle. So the Memphis Grizzlies able to put the first points up on the board. Outside Matthews. No good from outside. Jackson against Middleton. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Well, it's really tough to wrap Jackson up. I mean, when he's looking to score, he bullies his way through the contact, and he's athletic enough to jump over contact at times, too.
Now here's Bledsoe. 17 points for him last game against New Orleans.
Boy, I thought his passing was absolutely fantastic. I mean, really picked apart the defense all game long.
And to Antetokounmpo. Good work defensively by Crowder. Over in the corner, Allen. Rebound, Milwaukee. They defeated the Pelicans in their last game.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them do a little bit of everything in that game. Showed a lot of versatility.
And, you know, everything seemed to just kind of flow naturally for them. Felt like they were in a groove from the opening tip.
Grizzlies have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Jackson has the open look. Off target with his 3. For Milwaukee, they've gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. And Matthews kicks to Lopez. Pass to Bledsoe. Here's Giannis. And he uses the glass on the layup.
And boy, did they need that one. Their first make in the 5 field goal attempts they've had.
Now here's Morant. Guarded by Bledsoe. They get it again. Here's Valanciunas. Count it. Good.
And he's pretty relentless inside. Valanciunas gets after it down low. It might not always look pretty, but he makes the most of his chances in the paint.
Now here's Antetokounmpo. He had a career game last time out. Bucket after bucket. Matthews, no one around him. They grab their own miss. Middleton up top. Second chance shot. It's stolen by Valanciunas. Now here's Morant. He's guarded closely. Pass to Valanciunas. Lopez with the steal. Here's Bledsoe. Good, and the assist goes to Giannis.
Boy, I love the unselfishness there. I mean, if you're open Antetokounmpo, make sure you get the ball.
Looking at Memphis, they took the win in their last game against the Suns. Here's Morant. No good there. Bledsoe with the defensive effort. The Bucks trail. And there's the foul on Jay Crowder. That is his first foul of the game.
That's his first personal foul.
Matthews against Allen. It's good. This game is all even.
Man, nice to watch Matthews rise up with confidence, Kevin. Superb at getting good position close to the rim.
And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Now here's Morant. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Suns in Phoenix.
It was never all about himself. He came away with a lot of assists in that game and just kind of kept everybody in the mix.
2 shots.
And this kid, Ja Morant, came out of nowhere, under-recruited in high school, showed some promise in that first year of college, but boy, did he blow up.
And he makes first. And Morant really impacts the game in every area.
It's incredible, Kevin. He gives you the points, the assists, the rebounds. But then you look at the box score and you also see a block, a couple steals. And I like that he shoots a high percentage at the line.
That one falls, so he hits both of them.
And as good as Morant's been, there's still plenty of upside. One of the younger players to enter the draft in 2019.
Rejected by Crowder.
Well, I admire the fact he's trying to power through this rough stretch, but on occasion you'll have periods like this.
Pulls up from the corner. Antetokounmpo pulls it in. And here's Giannis. He'll bring it up for Milwaukee. Trailing by 2. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. And since coming to the Bucks, Eric Bledsoe hasn't been asked to do nearly as much as he has in the past.
And for Bledsoe, that is a good thing, as he is best as a complementary player. Not scoring as much, but his decision-making and shot selection have vastly improved.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
No good on the free throw.
You know, while Eric Bledsoe isn't a 20-point-per-game scorer like he was in Phoenix, you could argue that he's a more effective player since coming to Milwaukee. His efficiency is at a career-high level.
Clark, he's checked in for Jay Crowder. And he sinks the second. And for Bledsoe and the Bucks, he's been a great fit, Clark, as a third option on the team.
Yeah, I agree, guys, because it really comes down to recognizing the right spot and right role for you with your team. And Bledsoe himself recognizes that. He says he's the happiest he's ever been since coming to Milwaukee.
And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
Matthews has a nice feel, guys, for when a teammate has a clean look, gets him the ball.
Memphis trailing here. Now Morant. Some good scoring numbers for him right now, averaging 17 points a game. Here's Clark, and the rejection by Giannis. Bledsoe looking around. Passes to Matthews. On the wing, Giannis. He's in rare territory with those scoring numbers. It's not often we talk about a player averaging over 35 points a game. Oh, jams it right over Valanciunas. Wow.
Hey, offensive rebounding. Positioning is important, but nothing's more important than pursuing the pumpkin. And Antetokounmpo is always in the chase.
And here are the Grizzlies now after the basket by Milwaukee. Allen outside. Matthews with the steal. Giannis high post. And Giannis throws it down.
And Matthews is a wily, crafty defender. Phenomenal at knowing when to go for steals, using his body and his quick hands to disrupt the offense.
The Grizzlies trail by 5. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
So timeout called here. The first for Memphis. And the shooting guard, Wesley Matthews, a terrific defender who has no hesitation, Greg, in taking that long three.
A pretty good combination. Weathered an Achilles tear back in 2015, but has remained a steady rotation player.
Dillon Brooks, he's checked in for Memphis. The pass to Valanciunas. Looking to end the run. The Grizzlies with another miss.
Boy, that's got to be terribly frustrating there. I mean, with the defense not hustling and he still misses, boy, he wishes he had that one back.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Morant with it. Two free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Personal foul.
And purely from a physical standpoint, Ja Morant has it all. The height, the long arms, the frame to put on more weight. And few players are more explosive athletically.
And with Morant, you not only get the physical attributes, Greg, you get the mental toughness and awareness.
Yeah, this kid loves to compete. The bigger the game, the bigger he plays. I think we're looking at a potential all-NBA performer when it's all said and done.
That's good from Morant. And he makes both free throws. Mark, over the last couple decades, the role of the big man has changed and required more skill, outside shooting among them.
Yeah, that's one of the things. And then the ability to move your feet defensively.
Yes.
Because the three-point shot spaces the floor so much, and a lot of times teams will have 4, maybe 5 perimeter shooters out there regardless of size. So big guys, if they're going to play in that type of an alignment, have to be able to move their feet and effectively guard perimeter players and also make shots from the perimeter as well.
Amazing to see guys that big out there sometimes with a one-on-one with a guard, like on the three-point line.
No doubt. And also the big guys, we've got a ton of them, Kevin, across the league that can really knock down the three-point shot.
And he knocks down the first one. Well, the Grizzlies' coaching search took 2 months. But they finally settled on Taylor Jenkins, a former assistant coach with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Jenkins, with an economics degree from Penn, fits the young academic profile of this Memphis front office. Worked for the Spurs 6 years as an assistant under Mike Budenholzer, who was the coach of the year in 2019. That pedigree helped him get the job.
Yeah, you know, Wesley Matthews has made himself an efficient scorer who also has gained a reputation as a good defender.
They get it back. Clark from down in the low post. It goes.
It's never easy trying to keep him off the glass. He's an absolute beast down there.
Bledsoe outside. Antetokounmpo finds Bledsoe, and Bledsoe with the stuff.
You got to push Bledsoe away from the paint. Keep him on the perimeter. If you don't, this is what happens.
Here's Morant. He's got 6. And he makes good on the layup. Morant's got 8 points.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
Pass to Middleton. Now here's Antetokounmpo. Back to Middleton. His first shot coming late. It's good on the putback.
And they've done the job on the offensive glass.
I like the activity there, keeping the ball alive and creating some second chance buckets.
Now here's Brooks. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Now here's Morant. Guarded by Bledsoe. Shot clock at 5. Here's Clark. And Lopez pulls it down. Bucks leading by 7. Here's Middleton. Now in the scoring column with that bucket. 1 for 2 this game.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Here's Morant following the basket by Chris Middleton. And it's Bledsoe off the drive.
Displaying intensity right off the opening tip, especially on the offensive end.
I'll tell you what, forget about easing into the game. They came out with guns blazing.
Brooks outside. And here's Valanciunas. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Phoenix.
And he also controlled the backboard as well. I mean, he really did a terrific job.
And the amount of space Antetokounmpo covers is really breathtaking. You got to see it to believe it. I mean, he erases shots that you think he has no chance to get to.
And now we'll get a perspective here on the hustle game, how it's been going for the Bucks.
Great hustle defensively through the first half, contesting everything and racking up the block shots.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break.
And here's Morant following the three-pointer by Chris Middleton. With the teardrop, and it's Morant. That time on the assist by Jackson. Morant's got 10 points.
You know, he's got to be exasperated right now, fellas. I mean, playing excellent ball, but they're still losing.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game.
Well, for Josh Jackson, not really the sophomore season he was hoping for. Didn't take a major leap forward and saw him fighting for reserve minutes at times.
Some changes for Memphis. Anderson comes in for Jackson, and Jones subbed in for Morant. Here's Hill. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. He gets it in there. And the Bucks lead by 14. And with Jackson, Greg, they just need to see more from him.
The upside, it's still there for Jackson, but nothing is guaranteed in the NBA. He needs to keep working on his game to live up to the lofty draft expectations.
Here's Clark following the basket by George Hill. Here's Clark. He picked up 12 points in their last win against Phoenix. Here's Valanciunas. And there's the bucket. Stay with it on the offensive glass, getting it done.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
Well, I don't think there's any question about it. They came focused and ready to play. I mean, they're doing everything they can to put things in their favor. you earn that, and they're actually earning it well right now.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
The Bucks, a team that will attack you from deep. The team is chock full of shooters.
Yeah, and you know, they shot the second most threes in the league last year, and that approach makes an awful lot of sense when you consider how good Giannis is driving the ball down the throat of the defense. He draws so much attention. Having shooters around him is the right way to go.
The first one falls. Clark, we've talked about footwork, but a player's hands, how he catches, how he passes, his use of his hands are huge. And there are a couple guys out there that are great at that.
Kawhi Leonard has got some mitts unlike any other in the league. I mean, he's not that tall. He's long-armed, and his hands are humongous. That ball looks like a tennis ball in his hands. And not only are they big, they're good. He's active with them on defense, and he's very strong in how he handles the ball offensively. You know, I think about a guy in terms of maybe not size, but really good hands. Jokic, his hands are phenomenal.
Pass to Melton. Outside, Jones. Unable to get that one. Hill with some nice D. To the middle. He can't get it to go. And it's Memphis the other way. They come into this having outplayed Phoenix the last game.
Mental toughness on the road. The arena was rocking, but they just got down to business and never let up.
Well, you know, it takes character, poise, toughness to win on the road, and that's exactly what they showed last game.
Greg, a new look roster for the Grizzlies. They got a lot more athletic this past summer.
Well, Ja Morant and Brandon Clark, their first-round picks, two of the more explosive players in the draft. The Grizzlies last in the league in pace last season. They may have cause to accelerate that tempo this year.
You know, it's going to be tough to win when you give the other team second and third opportunities to score the ball.
At some point, guys, it comes down to pride. Start banging on your chest and get after it from your heart. I mean, you've got to at least offer some resistance. You can't just let guys do what they want in there.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Lopez kicks to Hill. Passes it to Connaughton. It's back to Hill. The Grizzlies pull it in. Valanciunas has got 7 rebounds in the game. Feeds to Clark. Lopez with the steal. Here's Korver. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's going to go on Tyus Jones.
Tell you what, you've got to get to Korver right away. This guy has unlimited range and a lightning quick release.
The Bucks shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
Yeah, looking over their percentage on the season, I think they will be thrilled with the number in terms of their free throw percentage, 79.
And they've made progress in that department from last season going into this one, guys. I mean, the numbers have improved.
First free throw is good. Both free throws good from Korver. 12 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Outside, Jones trying to find Valanciunas. Gets it to him. Good D by Lopez.
An effective defender. Lopez is very good at contesting shots without fouling shooters.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's feeling it tonight and has been the driving force for the Milwaukee Bucks. His work on the glass was outstanding in that quarter. Great rebounding. Back right after this. Well, there are a lot of letters that go into the spelling of Giannis Antetokounmpo's last name. He helped set the record straight of how you pronounce it.
The Nigerian way, you gotta say with a D, so it's Antetokounmpo. But in the Greek way, you say with the NT, like Antetokounmpo. Whatever you got, just say, you know, it's Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Seems easy enough, right?
I guess so. I think a lot of people are going to stick with Giannis or the Greek Freak.
And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And quite a position here for the Bucks to be in. What do you think, guys?
You got to credit their defense, communicating, rotating, making plays on the ball.
They've got them rattled. It's only the first quarter, and already they've made enough big plays on defense to last really an entire game.
On the court for Milwaukee here in the second. Ilyasova out there with Robin Lopez. Then there's Kyle Korver. Then there's Hill. And it's Connaughton in at the two-guard spot. They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe.
And, guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
And last season, Jonas Valanciunas averaging the fewest minutes of his career. Greg, at the same time, he was playing the best basketball of his career.
I mean, his scoring per minute through the roof. Rebounding at a career-high level. He can dominate inside, especially at that offensive end.
The free throw drops for Valanciunas. And Clark, when you look at how the game has changed, if you were entering the league today, how would you reshape your skill set?
Well, the biggest part would be expanding my shooting range. I was a good shooter at the time that I played, but would need to expand it and was just starting to stretch out my shooting to the three-point line. And then also defensively, be a little more committed to that end of the floor, really working to get better there. The ball handling, passing, scoring, rebounding, those were things that I did pretty well.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw drops for Hill.
You know, the former late first-round pick, Hill, has really developed into a reliable shooter and wing defender. He's got good speed, gets to the rim with ease, and passes the ball well, too.
Both free throws good from Hill.
Well, George Hill, the veteran guard, doesn't produce at the volume he once did. Still, he brings a lot of value to a team.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Chris Middleton was a first-time All-Star in 2019. We all know that Middleton is one of the league's best shooters, but he had to adjust his game to a new system under coach Mike Budenholzer. Middleton said, "I guess that's what being an all-star is, a team player and a complete player. Not playing for stats, playing for nothing else but to win." Kevin?
First-time all-star and well-deserved. David, thank you. And for Hill, Greg, he's a great veteran leader who brings value to a playoff-bound team.
You know, Hill has a game that is effective even when he's not scoring. His leadership and defense will make him a welcome addition to any roster, even as his numbers fade.
Here's Hill after the made shot from Jonas Valanciunas. And the pass to Lopez. Outside Korver, just 5 to shoot. Misses the 3, and he used the pump fake well there, but he couldn't capitalize. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Well, the Bucks on offense look to swing things around and pick up the tempo as much as they can.
Well, you know, this team was second in the league in pace. Want to get the ball down the floor and get an easy 3 or a transition chance. That was their game plan. This approach had them as the 4th best offense in the league last year.
That one is off. The Grizzlies making a switch here. Allen's checked in. And he's good on the second.
Well, you know, the Bucks can be a real force on defense. We're the top-rated defense last season in the league and #1 in rebounding and challenging shooters as well.
It's rebounded by Memphis. Valanciunas has got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big-time effort. Shot by Crowder, no good. Bucks leading by 13. And Clark, the length and size of the Bucks, a big part of their defensive success.
Well, I agree. I mean, versatile defenders across the board for the Bucks. They can handle switches and pick and rolls comfortably. Makes for a very strong defensive force no matter who's on the floor for this team.
Here's Melton. Pass to Valanciunas. Here's Melton, defended by Ilyasova. Melton, no good.
And, you know, the defense to me looked like they were okay to let him prove he could make that shot.
Hill kicks to Connaughton. Hits the three-point bomb.
You know, that's what you want out of your point guard. Hill is really doing a nice job getting the ball from side to side and not hesitating at all in doing it.
Here's Melton. Pass to Anderson. And the call will be against Robin Lopez. That'll be his second foul of the game.
That's his second foul of the first half. Not a big deal yet, but something to keep an eye on.
Giannis, he's checked in for Pat Connaughton. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Clock at 6. Anderson outside, puts up a 3. And so it looks like the Grizzlies will retain possession here. And a quick look here at some of the numbers for Giannis.
And in the last 5 games, he's made a bunch of hustle plays on the glass more than anywhere else. His rebounding totals in these games shows a dramatic increase from his numbers during the rest of the season.
Anderson.
Yeah, I don't want to dismiss the defensive chops of Antetokounmpo. I mean, he is so good at handling himself on the defensive end, whether he's guarding his own guy or in position to help his teammates.
Hill dishes to Lopez. The shot, no good.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
And the rejection by Giannis. And it's Hill penetrating. Down it goes, his third basket. He's now 3 for 4.
I think that's why Hill's teammates really like him. I mean, he gets to the hoop rapidly and really does it in a simple-looking fashion.
And here's Melton. He'll bring it up for the Memphis Grizzlies. It's an 18-point game. Now, here is Hill. He's got 8. Now, Ilyasova. To the paint. It's tipped. Lopez finds Giannis. And the shot goes in. Antetokounmpo's got 10 points.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
Here's Melton following the basket by Giannis. Valanciunas with the ball. He's got 9. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Offensive rebound. Passes to Melton. Allen outside to stop the drought. Rebound, Milwaukee. Right side, Hill. A second chance effort. Outside for Korver. Inside, here's Ilyasova. Crowder with the steal. Anderson outside. Melton passes to Valanciunas. He dishes it to Crowder. There's the triple. Antetokounmpo pulls it in. Giannis has got 8 rebounds in this game. Korver passes to Giannis. And here's Hill for 3. The Bucks keep it going. A new 14-second clock.
A guy that doesn't give up on the glass. Lopez, a real force at rebounding the ball.
A challenging stretch here for Memphis. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Now a timeout called by Memphis.
Well, it's been an express lane to the rim. Coach can't be happy about that.
And, you know, I think he's going to tell them simply, we have to show more fight on the interior. That's the top priority right now.
And some changes here for the Grizzlies. Jackson, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Brooks comes in for Anderson. And it's Morant in for DeAnthony Melton. Big group substitution here for Milwaukee. Brook Lopez is checked in for Lopez. Chris Middleton comes in for Ilyasova. Wesley Matthews checked in for Kyle Korver. And Eric Bledsoe subbed in for George Hill. Bucks leading by 20. Giannis outside. There's the pass to Matthews. No good with the triple. The Grizzlies shooting 28%, a rocky performance for them offensively. The drive by Brooks. On the wing, Jackson. And here's Morant. 10 points for him. 6 on the shot clock. Poked loose. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over.
And now we get a chance to see how the Grizzlies are doing in the NBA rankings right now.
And talking about the shot blocking ability, you love that mentality. No shot goes unchallenged around the rim. They make sure of that. You have to earn everything you get on the inside.
Here's Bledsoe. 7 points in the game. Middleton outside. Trying to get open is Lopez. Middleton can't get it to go. The Grizzlies trail by 20. Brooks, left side. Kicks it to Allen. Some nice passing there by Memphis. Pass to Jackson. Over Matthews. Jackson misses. Milwaukee has gotten into trouble with the 3-ball in the second quarter, only hitting 1 of 5 attempts.
You know, in just his first season with Milwaukee, a huge success for Coach Budenholzer. I mean, came in and led the team to the top seed in the East, gave the franchise a huge boost, and I think they found their leader for the next several years.
Clark for the Bucks. The players said Budenholzer instilled a sense of confidence in the team.
And you know what? Sometimes you have a coaching change, and that injection of a different type of approach and a change in culture can make a big difference. Coach Budenholzer has always shown the ability to get the most out of his roster and shows you what a difference a coach can make.
And the first one at the line is good.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
One way to protect the lead, knock down those free throws, and 100% free throwing for the quarter, that's superb.
And Memphis making a change here. Clark's checked in. And so he's able to get 1 of 2. Well, last season, Chris Middleton was asked Clark to change his game, and even though it took some adjustment, the results were there.
Yeah, I agree with you, and that's not easy for a guy of Middleton's ability. Early in the year, Coach Bud asked him to take on less for the good of the team. That meant less post-ups for Middleton, less shot creation from him, and the numbers for Middleton went down, but the success of the team took a big bounce forward.
And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And out of Marquette, Jay Crowder, a sturdy two-way wing player.
A great system player and glue guy. He had his best years with the Celtics. On the final year of this contract, a great value considering what he brings to the table.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good.
And the key for Bledsoe, like it is for most players, is staying motivated and engaged. I mean, he's a big player for this team, an important player for this team.
He's off on the second. Clark, when you think of athleticism specifically, talk about the changes athletically we've seen in the league, say, since the 80s.
It's dramatically different. I mean, there have been tremendous athletes through every decade of the league's existence, but it's gotten better with improved training and more knowledge about the anatomy of the body and how to enhance its performance. But now it seems like great athletes are, you know, a dime a dozen versus 8 to a dozen back in the 80s.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
And he can't get the first one.
You know, when I saw Jackson back in college, I thought he was the best two-way player in the country. I mean, he's athletic, he's confident, he's aggressive. Man, he plays with the verve that you like to see a guy play with.
Good on the second free throw. Now here's Giannis. He's got 10. Right side Matthews. Launches it. They get it back. Antetokounmpo. Chalk up 2 there. Giannis has got 4 points in the quarter.
Hey, you know, in the age of analytics, there's a ton of talk about player efficiency these days. And as we can see by Antetokounmpo's performance tonight, his efficiency, extraordinary.
Now here's Crowder. A 26-point game for him in the win against the Suns in Phoenix. And Jackson with the basket on the assist from Crowder. Jackson's got 7 points.
Yeah, you know, the second period's been much more kind to him than the first. I mean, let's see if he can keep it going and maintain this.
Bledsoe passes to Middleton. Rebounded by Jackson. And so it's Jackson who brings it up for the Memphis Grizzlies. They trail by 16.
Sometimes you just wonder, how did Morant see that guy? The vision is special.
Bledsoe outside. To the inside. The feed to Giannis.
Oh my goodness! That was special. And when the Greek Freak takes flight, I mean, he's looking to tear that rim apart. So ferocious in his throwdowns.
Now here's Morant. 10 points for him. Pass to Brooks. Here's Crowder. Now Jackson. 5 to shoot. Brooks outside. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Milwaukee leading by 16. And Matthews kicks to Bledsoe. Middleton the pass to Lopez. And Crowder comes up to help. For 3, Middleton. But he recovers it. Shoots over Morant. Here's Antetokounmpo. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's going to be on Jay Crowder.
Man, that was a remarkable pump fake from Antetokounmpo. I mean, he's really good at selling that shot fake.
It's his first trip to the line.
And when he's gotten himself to the line this season, he's come through right around 74% of the time.
And fellas, I think you have to like his improvements over his free throw numbers from a year ago. It's not a significant number or a huge amount, but it's improvement nonetheless.
And he knocks down the first one.
Well, you know, it's hard to overstate the impact that Giannis has on the floor with his play. I mean, he gives you so much at both ends of the floor, offense and defense, and really draws a lot of attention from the opposing team.
Jones checked in for Memphis. The Bucks also with the sub. Pat Connaughton, he's checked in for Wesley Matthews. Both free throws good from Antetokounmpo. The efficiency of Giannis. Clark, that's just the icing on the cake.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. For years, people were asking, how scary is Giannis going to be? Well, we've got our answer pretty much in the form of he's a nightmare.
And a quick look at how the Grizzlies' schedule is shaping up. On Saturday, they'll take on John Wall and the Washington Wizards. Then on Monday, they'll face off against Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat.
And for that matchup with the Thunder, this is a game that they are expected to win. But sometimes those are the kind of games where you get a little bit sloppy and start looking ahead. Either way, they'll need to put in tremendous effort to walk away with a victory.
The first one falls. Good on both. 54 seconds left to play here in the half. Bledsoe against Jones. Giannis is double. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball.
That's a jump ball.
And the Bucks with possession here. Here's Lopez. Off target from three-point range. Jones with it. Outguarded by Giannis. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Hey, if you want to get to the foul line, you want to go into contact. You have to be determined, and Josh Jackson not afraid of the physicality there.
And this is his second trip to the line tonight. And that one misses.
You know, he didn't get to the line in that entire first quarter. But right now, he's showing some aggressiveness out there.
He hits the second from the line. Here's Bledsoe. 8 points for him. Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Middleton outside. 19 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Lopez, no luck. Now here's Morant. Not a lot of room. Clark dishes to Brooks. And a miss there on the triple.
And you could tell he thought he had a little more space, but the defender was right there.
You know, that's a trademark of his defense. Quick to react, close down the shooter, and then affect the shot.
And the first half is now in the books. Bucks lead by 15. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Coach, you guys have been able to limit their scoring. How have you done that?
Well, I think our activity, hopefully in the pick and rolls, is making it difficult on them, contesting every shot, denying, just our activity in general.
High hands and quick feet. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow right here on 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Good to see you back here on our halftime show. Well, actually, we can't see you, but you can see us, but you get it. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. You're watching the NBA on 2K Sports. A tremendous game we're seeing from Giannis Antetokounmpo. He had 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 blocks. He came into tonight following a tremendous performance last time out and looks eager for a repeat. Kenny, your thoughts on the Bucks' first half?
You have to marvel at the uniqueness of the Greek Freak. From half court, he needs only 2 dribbles. That's right, 2 dribbles to get to the rim. He can pass like a point guard at almost 7 feet. The list goes on and on.
And Shaq, let's get your input on the Grizzlies.
Sloppy ball, way too many wasted possessions, chucking up threes, missing them. I could hit more threes than that. I hope they're talking right now about getting the ball inside, because that's what it's going to take. If they were hitting more threes, that'd be a different story. But if was the fifth Ernie, you know the rest.
And that's going to do it for us here. The second half of action is coming your way.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. You look at Antetokounmpo, and this game has been everywhere.
Well, with a double-double in hand through 2 quarters, you can just imagine what his stat line will look like at the end of this one.
Yeah, he's got that locked-in look in his eyes tonight, and he's not going to start taking it easy. I think he's going to be going hard until that final whistle blows.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. Morant and Allen at the guard spots. Clark is out there with Jonas Valanciunas, and it's Jackson in at the small forward. And that's the group for Taylor Jenkins as we begin the second half. Now here's Middleton. Rebounded by Jackson. The Grizzlies trail by 15. Stolen by Bledsoe. Here's Middleton. He dents the rim with a two-handed slam. Wow.
Decent at spotting his teammates. You know, Bledsoe is good, I think, at reading the defense and then recognizing when he's got an open teammate.
Now here's Morant. Guarded by Bledsoe. Here's Valanciunas. Can't hit that one. The Bucks go the other way with it. 22 is their biggest lead. Following this one, they get to host the Cavaliers. And that's the first game in a string of 3 straight at home. It's stolen by Allen. Lopez with the steal. To the middle. Here's Middleton. Terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
I'd agree with you, and I don't think they expected this one to be a game where they would get battered inside like they have.
Here's Morant, following the basket by Chris Middleton. Morant passes to Valanciunas. That shot, no good.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
Because he's so shifty and controls the pace, Morant can kill you in that mid-range area.
Kicks it down to Middleton. Valanciunas against Lopez. Matthews passes to Lopez. Over Valanciunas, and there's Lopez. That's good on the assist by Matthews. Lopez has got his second bucket of the game to go.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Passes it to Morant. Over Bledsoe. The rebound by the Bucks. Antetokounmpo. Middleton outside. Stolen by Jackson. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Chris Middleton. That is his first foul of the game. Crowder, he's checked in for Clark.
First team foul. Substitution for Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies trail by 19. Over in the corner, Allen hands it from downtown. Allen's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
And no matter who it is, that kind of D isn't going to get it done.
The pass to Middleton. Lopez inside. Valanciunas is there with the fadeaway. Great positioning on the putback. And the Bucks lead by 18.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
You're exactly right. It's been all good at one end, and let's be diplomatic and just say not so good at the other end.
Now here's Morant. He's got 14, and it's sent back by Lopez.
Lopez showing off the length there to get to that shot.
Kyle Anderson, he's checked in for Memphis. The Bucks also changing it up. Ilyasova, he's checked in for Antetokounmpo. Korver comes in for Chris Middleton. And George Hill's subbed in for Wesley Matthews. Knocks it loose. 4 on the shot clock. And it's the Bucks on the break. And the wide open shot from Bledsoe. Sinks the triple. Bledsoe's got 11 points.
You know, really, Bledsoe has to keep hitting it from deep. When he does, I think that really opens up the floor for him and his team.
Allen outside. Pass to Valanciunas. Lopez with the block.
You know, his scoring efficiency has been low, and it's not helping them on the scoreboard.
Here's Hill. That misses off the backboard. The Grizzlies trail by 21. And Clark, many fans thought Brook Lopez might have lost it after his stint with Los Angeles, but, you know, he was reborn after joining the Bucks.
Yeah, sometimes a fresh start re-energizes you and helps you change your game. This guy was, though, a 20-point scorer a night in the past, so he can put it in the basket. He didn't get those kind of numbers with the Bucks, but really was exactly what they needed as a big guy who could shoot the three and also be a rim protector inside.
On the wing, Korver. And again, Milwaukee with the triple.
Set him up well there. Brook Lopez showing his vision and willingness as a passer.
Morant with it. 14 points for him. Outside, Crowder. From deep. Bledsoe with the rebound. Bledsoe's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Outside for Korver. The dish to Hill. Pass to Bledsoe. Over Morant. Here's Ilyasova. And it's Morant with the rebound.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
The Grizzlies making a switch here. Melton's checked in. And Milwaukee also making a switch. Lopez is checked in. And so here's Memphis. Melton feeling it out a bit. Anderson right side, and it's good. 2 points.
His mid-range shot is very solid. I mean, for some reason, the defense let him have it.
Bucks leading by 20. And Bledsoe, here we go. Ilyasova down low, defended by Crowder, and it's Memphis on the break. Melton's shot is good. Melton's got 6 points.
Pressuring the ball and making a play that created the opportunity.
You know, you push it after a steal, there's almost no chance the defense can get back and recover.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, over the last few years, there's been a lot of talk about seeding playoff teams 1 through 16, regardless of conference. Now, taking the top 16 teams is a tough sell, especially for owners whose teams are in the relatively weaker Eastern Conference. But taking 8 teams from each conference and then cross-seeding earlier than the finals is something that does seem possible down the road. The reward for fans might be a finals matchup with the 2 best teams in the league. Kevin?
Interesting ideas, David. Thank you. Jones checked in for Grayson Allen.
You know, even though they have the lead, you can tell he's frustrated with himself that he's not doing more.
Anderson against Korver. Just 5 on the clock. Anderson in the post. He's usually able to provide some lift to his team, averaging 6 points a game. Dylan Brooks. He's checked in for Anderson.
Dylan Brooks.
And here is Hill. He's got 8. Passes it to Connaughton. And here is Ilyasova. Shoots over Crowder. Ilyasova can't hit.
The fadeaway was the right shot there because it got his attempt away from the defender, but the touch was poor.
Here's Melton. He's got 6. Here's Valanciunas. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Boy, Valanciunas, a mountain of a man, a solid big guy who scores well and provides a lot of length and muscle inside.
And a look at how the hustle game has been going for the Bucks.
Their defense has been outstanding, closing out on shots and blocking a few as well.
And guys, I think you've got to give them credit for the number of steals they've taken away. I mean, a lot of effort on the defense from them tonight.
And the second free throw, good. Bucks leading by 17. Hill looking it over. And there's the pass to Lopez. And it's Connaughton atop the key. Shot clock at 6. Can they get it? Ilyasova can't hit. And here's Melton. He'll bring it up for Memphis. Ripped away. Korver finds Hill. The kick out to Ilyasova. And the Bucks miss again.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to buy himself a ticket to the bench. If he keeps shooting it like that, he has been putrid here this quarter.
Brooks, the pass to Valanciunas. The fadeaway. That shot missing. The Bucks go the other way with it. 22 is their biggest lead. Hill dishes to Korver. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
And you got to be more careful around Korver. He's excellent at going right into the contact on his way up.
These are his 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. The free throw drops for Korver. Both free throws good from Korver. Here's Jones. No points in the game yet for him. Tipped away. Out to the right wing. Here's Valanciunas. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
Hill against Jones. Bounce pass from Hill. And Ilyasova kicks to Hill. And again, the Bucks miss. The Grizzlies trail by 17. To the paint. Here's Crowder. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. Crowder's got 4 points in the quarter. Milwaukee has gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them. Pass to Korver. And here is Ilyasova. Brooks covering. Pass to Lopez. Shot clock at 5. Here's Connaughton. No good off the back of the rim. The Grizzlies have gone 7 for 16 in the second half from the field, shooting a bit under 50%. Jones, the pass to Valanciunas, and he gets it to go. Valanciunas has got 14 points.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Timeout called, the Bucks.
You know, for backup point guard Tyus Jones, you love the way he plays defense. I mean, comes in and buzzes around, creates a lot of havoc, forces turnovers, great hands, and quick feet.
Clark, he's checked in for the Grizzlies. And then for Milwaukee. Giannis, he's checked in for Ilyasova. Chris Middleton comes in for Kyle Korver. And it's Matthews in for Pat Connaughton. Now here is Hill. 8 points for him. Nice D from Valanciunas. And with Jones and his defense, he plays well and doesn't foul.
Yeah, you know, that's an impressive ratio when you look at it, Kevin. Last season, Jones had more steals than fouls and was close to 1-to-1 in that category. It doesn't sound like a lot, but that's elite company. You're in the neighborhood of guys like Kawhi Leonard and Jimmy Butler, and we know how good those all-stars are.
Here's Clark. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Valanciunas finds Crowder. Now here's Jones. From 11 feet away. Shot by Crowder, no good. Bucks leading by 13. Here's Matthews. A shot missing. Nice D from Brooks. Memphis has gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Clark dishes to Jones. Brooks outside. Valanciunas inside. Lopez is there. And another miss by Memphis. They've been doing a great job of sharing the ball.
I mean, guys, shot A comes to mind for me because right now that offense, it's a smooth operation. And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Here's Crowder. Rebounded by the Bucks. 22 is their biggest lead. To end the cold streak. No good. And Memphis the other way now. Here's Clark. He kicks it to Jones. Outside Crowder. From downtown. Valanciunas, good. Valanciunas has got 7 now in this quarter.
Just creating havoc for the opponents the last few games.
Well, he's done it again right there on the offensive glass. I mean, it's a great stretch that he's having here, and boy, I really admire his energy.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
It's Jones on the wing. He's covered by Matthews. Valanciunas inside. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And so it's Milwaukee holding on to an 11-point cushion as we get ready to take a break. And they're winning the turnover battle very easily in this one. Back to the action after this word. Let's listen in on what Mike Budenholzer had to say to his team in the huddle.
Just relax. We're in good shape. Keep looking for each other. Keep cutting hard. Everybody look. Take care of our defense. More pressure. More activity.
That's Coach Mike Budenholzer running through the gambit of areas where he feels they need to excel.
Yeah, I mean, and most of all, Coach is asking them to be 100% engaged. Give it your all, and then let the chips fall where they may.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. On the court for the Bucks, Matthews and Middleton, the 2 wings. Giannis is the 4 with Lopez the 5. And it's Bledsoe in at the point guard position.
You know, sometimes all you can do is knock Middleton around, be physical with him, and hope the shot doesn't go in. I mean, he's got a long, expansive reach, a nice soft touch inside, and that presents problems for the defense.
And he makes the first.
And last year, Chris Middleton, not quite as dead-eye as he has been in the past. Still a solid shooter from all ranges.
Middleton hits them both. And for Middleton, Greg, you don't need all the volume out there from him. You just need the efficiency.
And Middleton has always been an efficient player. Great to have on a team as a second or third option.
Jackson misses. Bucks leading by 13. There's the lob. Antetokounmpo throws down the alley-oop slam.
How about the springs of this guy, Antetokounmpo, also known as the Greek Freak? I mean, he just gets up off the ground like a rocket on these alley-oop chances.
Here's Morant following the basket by Giannis. Outside for Jackson. Lets it fly. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets yanked soon. I mean, that's how bad his shot selection has been.
And here's the fast break. Here's Morant. And the layup falls.
Yeah, when Morant gets it dialed up, he can be unstoppable. Just too many ways to score.
Now here's Bledsoe. Down low, Crowder with the steal. Oh, here we go now. Crowder's got it, the fast break chance. And with that, the Bucks lead is cut to just 11 on the basket from Jackson.
Well, so often we see this, transition buckets off turnovers.
And we know turnovers are painful and costly. You get loose with the ball on one end and get punished on the other end.
Pass to Middleton. That one doesn't go. Some solid defense there from Jackson. Brooks with no one around. And the lead is down inside single digits.
Well, the first thought from the D there was to protect the rim, so good idea to take the three in transition.
Bledsoe outside. Now the pass to Matthews. To the paint. Here's Giannis. Offensive struggles continue, missing again. And the foul called on Antetokounmpo. That'll be his second foul of the game. The Grizzlies making a switch here. Allen's checked in. Pass to Morant. Matthews with the steal. Here's Antetokounmpo, and Giannis throws it down.
And how about the power of Antetokounmpo? Dynamite whenever he takes it to the rim.
The Grizzlies trail by 10. Now here's Morant. To the right side. Here's Valanciunas. Misses the layup.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Now here's Jackson. Chris Middleton unable to get his last shot to go. Pass to Morant. Now Valanciunas uses the glass to finish the layup. Valanciunas has got 9 points here in the second half.
Terrific dime there. Morant realizing his responsibility to share the wealth with his teammates.
Bledsoe passes to Giannis. Inside, 6 to shoot. And here we go, the Grizzlies on a fast break. Crowder with the ball, and the foul on Eric Bledsoe. And that'll be his third foul so far.
Second team foul.
Now here's Morant. Defense is right there. And Valanciunas kicks to Morant. Clock at 4. Over Middleton.
It's pretty clear that Middleton takes pride in his defense. If he can't block the shot, he's going to do everything he can to at least challenge it and disrupt the shooter.
And the shot goes down. And that's 13 points for Eric Bledsoe.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
You know, he should be getting extra attention from the defense, not less.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Here's Morant, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That's on Brook Lopez.
And going up strong inside demonstrates confidence. Morant not afraid to get physical.
And he makes the first, but misses the second. Bucks leading by 9. Here's Giannis, and Giannis throws it down.
Well, I love how fast Antetokounmpo gets to the basket. One of the most mobile guys in the game.
And for the Grizzlies, they're shooting a pedestrian 36% in the fourth quarter. The offense not doing their best work of late. Outside Crowder. Looking to get back on track here. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Personal foul.
That's on Brook Lopez.
Shooting for Memphis.
And the first one drops.
Jay Crowder. 2 shots.
And both free throws good from Crowder. The Bucks have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Bledsoe outside. To the inside. Wants to get it to Matthews and does. Off on the layup.
You know what? They're winning, though, despite the fact that he has just been really off.
Jackson looking it over. Now here's Morant. Defended by Middleton. 5 on the clock. It's Allen on the wing. And he overshot that one, missing.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
Shots good by Bledsoe.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
The last 5 trips they've had have ended with a great pass leading to a basket. They're really sharing the sugar.
Now Morant. Teardrop shot. And the rejection by Giannis. Matthews goes in. The shot's good. And the Bucks lead by 13.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
Now here's Morant. He's covered closely. Passes to Crowder. Over to the wing. Morant with a wide open look. Gets a very good look and converts. Morant's got 19 points.
So tough to guard. When Morant is rising and firing like that, it's basically impossible to stop.
Now here's Antetokounmpo. Kicks to Matthews. And it's sent back by Allen. The shot's good from Lopez. The Grizzlies trail by 13. Matthews with the steal. The kick out to Lopez. Lets the 3 fly. And another shot. And Giannis with the layup. 26 points for him.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
And I say, hey, if it keeps working, go to it. Stay with it. I mean, until the defense responds and provides more resistance, keep making them pay.
Now here's Allen.
And that's his 4th, and no doubt he would have liked to have not gotten it this soon.
5th team foul. Shooting for Memphis. Grayson Allen. 2 shots.
Shooting 2.
And that one falls for Allen. He doesn't get the second one. Milwaukee leading by 14. The pass to Giannis. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And Clark, with Giannis, you could see the change in his demeanor last year. You know, he knew he was unguardable when he was on the floor.
Well, guys, you know you're special when you can say nobody can stop me, and the general consensus is you're right. I mean, I can't think of any player in the NBA that's really suited to guard Giannis with his blend of speed and strength and ball skills. That guy handles the ball exceptionally well for a big man.
That's good from Antetokounmpo.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
Yeah, they've not missed a single foul shot this half, and that's taking care of business, fellas.
And both free throws good for Giannis.
You know, really, when you look at Antetokounmpo, he's got it all. I mean, he can score it, rebound it, he passes it pretty well, defends with intensity, and he's really versatile and gonna continue to get better because of his work ethic.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. You have to like what we're seeing from Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Well, you know, he's destroying them right now, guys. This defense has to make an adjustment to try and cool him off.
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working. And no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
And as the star of this team, he knows he's going to be the object of the crowd's anger. Valanciunas finds Allen to the middle. Here's Crowder, and that's in. Nice feet on the play. And that's a double-double for him now. 10 points and 12 rebounds. Bledsoe outside. For 3, Middleton. It's rebounded by Memphis. Crowder's got rebound number 13 for him here tonight. Over in the corner, Allen. A three-pointer, no good. Bucks leading by 14. Middleton the pass to Bledsoe. They double-team Bledsoe. And the dunk by Lopez.
The big fella with the big finish. Lopez rocking that rim.
Memphis has gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Morant kicks to Jackson. Off target from outside. Milwaukee has gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Now here's Bledsoe. Defense right on him. Bounce pass Middleton. And here's Matthews. The 3. And a great assist by Antetokounmpo as that one goes in. Antetokounmpo's got his 4th assist in this one. Morant with it. To the paint. Here's Jackson. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. That's on Brook Lopez.
Man, I love this kid's motor. Josh Jackson works hard all the time, but especially in the paint. Really gets after it and able to draw the foul.
Josh Jackson. 2 shots.
Shooting 2.
First one falls for him. And so he hits both. And here's Bledsoe. And it's Morant with the rebound. Morant's got his 4th rebound in this one. Shoots over Matthews, and that one's good. Morant's got 7 now in this quarter.
Unbelievable athleticism. Morant's stop and start is elite.
At the elbow, it's Antetokounmpo. .156 left here in the fourth quarter. He feeds it to Middleton. Shoots over Crowder. Shot's good by Middleton.
Late in the game, up big, they continue to attack.
I don't think you want to get loose and sloppy or ease up, but it is time for them to start using that clock a bit.
Now here's Allen. Pass to Valanciunas. Over Lopez. No good from Valanciunas. And Josh Jackson picks up the foul. That's his 3rd foul of the game. So Memphis ends up going with the new group.
Substitution on the court.
Bucks leading by 17.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for Milwaukee.
The differential in assists led to a lot of open looks, and it also helped to get more guys involved in the offense easy.
And they made the defense adjust, but they just couldn't come up with an answer.
And in terms of the season record, this is going to be their 18th win overall.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And that next meeting, Greg, will be their second and final game of the season series, being in opposite conferences. So you bet nobody wants to get swept even in a 2-game season series. I think the next game will be hotly contested.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Giannis.
It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
And it's Jones with the ball for the Memphis Grizzlies. There's 38 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Fires from the wing. Brooks misses.
Well, they'll be happy with that look, even though it didn't fall.
You know what? That's a confidence shaker for him, though. I mean, that's a shot he expects to make every time.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
And, this run shows what kind of attitude this team has. I mean, the win is there. Go get it.
Hill against Jones. Outside Hill. So no problem for Milwaukee as they get the win. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with Eric Bledsoe. Eric, a strong performance tonight. What's been the difference?
We're getting out of transition, trying to get defensive stops, and everybody's just playing their game.
And it showed tonight, Eric. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. So long and good night, everyone.